Neon Tribal Lizard Shoes Acrylic Painting Tutorial by HotPinkZebraPaper.
Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I decorated a pair of shoes that have a really neon lizard on the side, and then there's also a whole bunch of leaves. So I really love this. This is actually the pair of shoes that I've painted that has gotten the most notice out and about when I'm just walking around, and they're just so bright and eye-catching. I love them. I hope you guys like them as much as I do, and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well.
So I began on the heel of the shoe with various shades of green paint, and when I say various shades, I actually mean two. I have more of like a Christmas green and then a really bright green, and I'm going to be using those two shades to make fronds all over the wedge heel of this little booty that I have. So I have my first frond that I'm starting, and I took that one from the top, pointing it down with my center stem line, and then taking all of those little leaves going across. That's with the darker shade. Then I'm going to take my brighter, very limey green and do all my highlighting on this. This is a very quick process, and the great thing with working on something that absorbs paint like this faux suede does is that it doesn't dry very quick. You have plenty of time for blending. It's almost like you added a mixative into your paint that slows down the dry time, which usually I'm somebody that's like a go, 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 go kind of person, and I want my paint to dry right now. But there are times when you have this little extra moment to blend in your paint that it's kind of nice. So that is something that's either going to be very frustrating if you're painting something on, I've also used like denim board. That's the same situation because it absorbs the paint, and it's either very frustrating or very beneficial, and it kind of depends on what you're doing. For this particular moment, I would say it is very beneficial. Later on when I'm painting the lizard, I would say it's frustrating. So it just depends on what you're doing. But I went every other up, down with my fronds, and I filled in the entire heel. And I went all the way around the outside. If you guys obviously probably can't find the exact same pair of shoes that I did, so you may or may not be able to formulate your design like I did. So you can take what I did and, take some, leave some, do whatever you'd like. If I were to just do something more simple than what I did, I would just do the leaves on the heel, and I would actually just forget about the lizard, which is the whole point of why I decided to paint these shoes, because I love the fronds across the heel. That's like the best thing ever to me. I love fronds. I love plants and green stuff and all those goodies. So the little leaves going around the outside was like the best thing ever to me. But now I'm going to paint the lizard, the namesake for this video. And I started out by painting him white with a base layer. All of my neon bright color paints that I'm going to be using on top of him aren't necessarily the most opaque of my colors. And if I went straight for my hot pink paint, you would never see it on top of the black shoe. You need that base layer of white paint in order to have something for the pink to really show up against. So having that base layer of white, even if the white layer isn't fully opaque, as you can see mine's a little streaky, that's okay. That doesn't really matter. It's just going to make your other colors so much more vibrant. So I have my first little curly lizard shape, and then I'm going to be adding his legs. So I start out with the front legs, and I'm going to be adding 4 toes on each leg, just like so. Really a very kind of a stereotypical cartoon lizard or tribal lizard shape, I guess you could say. And the one set of toes kind of extended into my laces of the shoe, but that's all right. Now I'm going to start filling in my lizard with the bright pink I mentioned, purple and teal. So I'm going to start with my pink, and my pink is the least pigmented of my colors. It's actually a glow-in-the-dark, neon glow-in-the-dark paint that I got so long ago because I thought it'd be cool to paint things glow-in-the-dark when I was, 11 maybe is when I got this paint, and I've never used it because it is just not pigmented and it doesn't glow in the dark either, even though it says that it does. But it will work for this, and I think I ended up doing 4 layers of it even on top of the white to get it to really be pink, which is what I mean when I'm saying, deal with it. It's kind of a pain. But if you guys have a better pink, I'd use it. And I'm going to take my neon purple color and just kind of fill this guy in patchwork style. So have your colors out. I always like to have all of my colors of paint out and open and available to me. Either I like to use them directly from the caps of my paint, which is something that a lot of people you can't do that, it dries out the whole thing. But I go through paint so much that I think it's fine. Or I stick some on my palette depending on what I'm doing. But I like to have all of my colors available to me at all times so that I can, if all of a sudden I'm like, you know what, I need purple right here, I don't have to go finding it because it's probably going to discourage me from doing whatever my whim was. And if it's all just right there available to me, I'm going to do it. And I think that in general, that just makes your art more spontaneous and closer to your vision that's in your head, because you don't have to think, is it really worth opening up the paint or getting out the paint or making a mess to get it? It's already done. It's already, the mess is made. So you might as well. After you have all of your lizard base colored, you can't see any more of that white paint. You want to cover up every little speck of white. You're going to go over it with patterns and polka dots and everything to fill it in, going back to the colors that you had. So still using your pink, purple, and teal. So over the purple sections, I use the teal mostly, and over the pink, I use some purple and some teal, and over, you get the drift. But just keep using all of those same colors, and you don't have to use the same colors I did. You can switch it up. And if anybody's wondering about the laces I have in these boots, they are U laces, which they're basically like little pieces of elastic that have little T shapes on the end. So you string the T shape through the eye of the lace, and then you kind of flattens out. And so the little elastic laces get stuck in there. And I found some of these on clearance, and I was like, you know what, I'll get these. They are amazing. They are really actually quite fantastic. And the size that I have in here, it's the kiddos U laces, so they're the kid sizes, which work perfectly for these boots. But if anybody's like, I need something to make shoes easier to put on, or if you like tennis shoes, don't want to deal with laces, these are fantastic. Or if you have a situation like me where your cat likes to untie every pair of shoes you have, whether they're on your feet or not, they can't do that with these, so that also helps. But continue adding patterns over your lizard. When you're working on the face, make sure that you add eyes and nostrils, I was going to say nasal cavities, but little nostrils for your lizard, so that he's got a way to breathe and he's not going to die. And I added white in his eyes, and then a little bit of the teal for the eye color, which I know isn't actually very realistically lizardy, and then black pupils and little highlights. But that's it. These are a fairly quick, easy project. I worked on them during a couple nap times for Melody, and they were done. So I hope you guys like them as much as I do. Please check out my Facebook and Instagram to see more of my art, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!